Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Tom, welcome to Finnegan's.
Cheers.
How are you doing, lads? Cheers.
Very good. Very
what
good.
have we got here?
What are we drinking?
Well, I think we've got some IPA tonight.
We're on the IPA this evening.
On the IPA, yeah. Not sure of the name of it, but it's IPA, apparently. Yeah.
It's fancy drinks, that. That feels like hipster.
Well, we're a bit hipster. I've got me new glasses on. Yeah.
You're not going to wear those all night, are you?
His teeth are all yellow. Everything's yellow, Tom.
look...
I look like Bono, don't I?
Yeah, you look crazy.
I found these and I thought they're my beer goggles, aren't they, obviously?
There you go. Why not? Well, you keep those on all night, mate. You look just fine.
I can't keep them on because I can't see a thing.
Take them off then.
Yeah, I'll take them off.
There you go.
I got my other glasses though. Got another pair from Home Bargains.
There we go.
Are these better? Because my other ones, my wife said they looked terrible, so I had to get another pair. But these are terrible as well. But these are £1 dearer.
Those glasses were £1 more expensive than the beer ones.
No.
Oh,
No, the beer one's probably dearer.
They probably are.
Probably are dearer. No. I had another pair which looked like these, only they're smaller. And Joyce said, your glasses are too small for your massive head. Right?
I have that problem as well.
So I got these because they were bigger. But I'm not sure. But I can't buy proper glasses yet, so these will have to do.
I would go to Specsavers if I was you and get yourself
at £25 pair.
At least 25. That's the bottom threshold, I think.
They're only for eating, Tom.
Let us know you're watching. Let's have a look. Miriam's in.
Night.
Hi guys. Pleased to be watching you. Nice to have you, Miriam. Here we go. Pete's in as well, watching at home with Caleb. Can he get a shout out, please? He's been in hospital this week. Of course you can, Caleb.
High five the telly now, lad.
That's it.
Come
Just
on.
Smash it with
smash it.
Fist pump.
Really hard, yeah. Give us a fist pump, yeah. I want to see broken glass. That's what we want to see.
Look at this. Joyce is watching and she's saying more sad glasses for Alan.
But are they better though, Joyce? Are they better than the other ones? Or do I go back to them?
Yeah.
You know. More like Elton John, I would say.
Yeah, that's what Pete's
saying. That's them ones though, isn't it? That's them.
What are people drinking this evening? What have people got on the go? Let us know. Let us know what you're watching. We're on IPA. It's a significant improvement from last time. Janet's in.
Yeah. No, last time was all right. We had beer Moretti.
Oh, yes, we did.
Bitter Moretti.
Bitter Moretti. Yeah. And this is the last Finnegan's before the summer, so we're going to take a little break after this, and we're going to come back in September.
We're going to do a bit of a refurb in the summer.
Finnegan's is going to get a bit of a refurb, which is exciting.
It's exciting.
You're going to...
I'm going to make it easier. Basically, me and you are too fat to get in and out of here all the time. So I've got to make it easier for us to get in here.
We need a bit more space, don't we?
Because it's not good, is it, when I say to get in? You're all right. You're not too bad.
Not
you're
really.
Quite slim,
it's tight for me, and it's getting tighter all the time. But we're gonna remodel a little bit. You can't see it, but there's pool table here, the bar. There's loads going on, and so I think it needs to be bigger, Alan. You just need to extend
the events room down there.
There is.
Yeah. So the beer garden out there.
Yeah.
For when the swimming pool.
And
So,
jacuzzi.
It's quite a setup we've got here, to be honest. Yeah, in our private members club. So it's okay, isn't it? Yeah.
But even though it's the last one before the summer, we've got a great night for you. So we've got our mate Jon Rogers in this evening. So we're going to go and say hello to him. He's on his best behaviour over there. He's not allowed to talk.
Yes.
He's going to go over to him in a little bit.
He's in a food coma at the moment. He's just had
a big
spaghetti bolognese.
So all those carbs are just like flooding his system.
He's nearly asleep, to be fair.
Yes.
Look at him.
We'll wake him up in a minute.
We'll get him when we So
but it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, and we need to plug our fantasy football.
Join we're going to put the codes for our fantasy football team in the comments, but we're putting that out on our Facebook and the other ones. So if you want to join our fantasy
socials, Tom,
our socials. So if you want to join our fantasy football thing, then come and click on the link, sign up. If some people are saying they've never done fantasy football,
doesn't matter.
Brilliant, even better.
Better, we'll finish above you.
We will win.
Yeah.
So come and join us.
That makes me feel
football.
Good.
It does.
Yeah. So come and join it. It's a good for a laugh. We might even have a WhatsApp group where we can give each other a stick each week. And the idea of the game is to beat Mikey Ferguson because he's like super good at it. So we've got to beat him.
Good. So if we can beat Mikey, then all the better.
Ferguson.
Do you know what we got this week as well? A new toy. Look at this. You can't quite see this, but we got this new beautiful podcasting toy
he's
thing
in love with
here,
it,
and I love it.
I've got no idea what it is.
Alan doesn't know, but so it's a new thing. So we're still setting up. So if it's not working quite properly,
we might look like we're like one of them dubbed foreign movies. Our voices might not be with our lips.
Could be slightly out of sync, but hopefully it's looking. But it's got amazing things like this, Alan.
What's this?
Like just really useful bits.
Like that. Oh wow. We turned into Haribo.
So I think we could do the whole podcast like this.
Haribo.
It's got loads of useful features like this.
What else? What else have you got, Tom?
It's got small robots.
It better be worth it.
This is it. This was so
is
much
hundreds of
money,
pounds.
and basically it enables us to do the small robot voice.
A small robot voice. Small robot.
You ready though?
Yeah.
It's got a large robot
Large
as well.
robot. Okay.
There's large
Come on,
robot.
I'm listening.
This is large robot. Oh, wow. That sounds like, no, that doesn't sound like large robot. That sounds like someone's got a kid.
It's kidnapped your kids. And then asking for
No.
money.
This is the one. This is the one. If you kidnap kids.
Oh,
it's
is
the
it?
Voice disguises.
Please don't kidnap any kids on the back of this.
Please don't. Oh no, that's their for kidnapping kids, is it? Leave the money in the bin.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So
Whoa.
we've got. So basically, that's what it does.
Is that all it does?
Yeah, it was worth every penny. Pete, are you in, Pete's saying he's in the fantasy football league, so you should be. If you're not, Pete, get signed up. But mate, have you played before or not? I don't know, but we'll find out.
We
We'll
don't
see.
care.
I don't know if he's any good, Pete,
It doesn't matter.
but we're glad you're in. We're glad you've joined. So this week,
Yeah.
do you know what we did this week? We took the kids out of school. Believe it or not.
Wow. Does he get fined?
I hope not.
You're the governor. You should be fined. They should
not like-
set an example by fining the governors. That's what I think.
Why? Why do they?
How much is it? £60 a kid
It better not
a
be.
day?
£60 per kid per day.
I think so. Something like that.
That is crazy.
You need fining. That's what I say.
Well, we took the kids
Anyway.
out. Should I be saying that we took the kids out of school? Then maybe I shouldn't be saying.
You
that.
probably shouldn't, but you've done it now. So
I've done it. So we took
you've
the
got to
kids.
own it.
It was a weekend. It was a Saturday. The kids were out of school.
Thursday's
Just
the
make-
new Saturday.
It makes perfect sense. So we went to Alton Towers for the day.
Oh, wow. I haven't been to Alton Towers for years.
Oh, it's brilliant. And our kids are about the right age now for Alton Towers. You know, they can't. Our youngest Eden, he's over the one. He's not quite the 1.4 for all the proper
right.
top rides, but there's loads at
He can go on.
1.2 that he can go on.
Oh, wow.
And so we had a blast. We had
Did
a
he
great
like it?
time. He did like it. I think they were terrified. They were absolutely terrified of these rides, and so but Eden didn't want to let that stop him from doing the rides, and so
That's because he's a brave one, and he's the brave one, isn't
but
he?
he would come off each ride just properly
Being sick.
traumatized. So he'd be like shaking.
Oh, honestly, we went to Florida
Yeah.
ages ago. Loads of us went to Florida. And for those, I mean, Ian's Odds won't be watching, but Ian's Odds came with us. And we went to one of the Universal things, you know,
Yeah.
big parks. And we talked him onto coming on a ride. He doesn't like fairground rides. And in there, you can't see them. They hide from the queue, so you can't see the ride. Really clever. And we took him on the Mummy. Okay. Oh, Tom, there was a picture. I wish we still had it. There's a picture of all my kids, and they're all like 14, 15. They're all like loving life, you know, the way they take the picture near the end. And Ian Dodgers just got hold of the bar, like, he's terrified. He never went to another theme park after that.
I hate heights, and it's getting worse as I get older. So I was like, I've done all of the ones at Alton Towers, but I was a little bit nervous. Anyway, the kids decided to go on one of these rides, and it kind of went up and then spun like that and then spun like that, and it was pretty terrifying. The kids were in the queue, and in the queue there was just a pile of sick just in the queue. So already you're kind of thinking this is going to be
good.
This is going to be good. So I'm just watching the kids queue up with their Uncle Andy, and they get to the front.
So Andy kept his kids out as well. There's another 4 fines.
So
How much is this school going to make?
it was Saturday. So basically, Andy was going on the ride with his kids on the Saturday, with my kids on the Saturday, and they got towards the front of the queue.
360 quid, you know, the school.
How do you have to give the school money to not? They should pay you to have the kids out for the day.
But it's not how it works, mate.
That's not how it works.
Society's not fair.
They get to the front of the queue, and so it's their go next. I'm watching them as a father, and you know, you've kind of got the pace of the rides, how long everything is taking, and this one's taken ages for them to get our kids onto the ride.
Yeah.
And then you can see these two fellas there, and they are, I'd say they're 16 or 17. They're really young, and they just getting the ride to go halfway, and it stops, and then they bring it back down again.
Yeah.
And they're doing that a few times, and the crowd, there's a 40-minute queue, loads of people just watching them do this. Then in front of everyone, the 16-year-old lad brings it down, grabs like a metal pole, comes over to the ride and just hits a bit of it, like several times, just boom, 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 in front of everyone.
Why?
Well, exactly. That's what I was thinking. What is he
He
doing?
hadn't done it before. It wasn't part of the show.
Never part of the. That's not part of the show.
Okay.
So he's just come over and hit it 3 times. Kind of looked at it for a while, hit it a couple of more times, and then walked away.
That's kind of like when something doesn't work, you get your hammer out on a building site and you whack it a bit and hope it starts.
Yeah, I think he'd already unplugged it and blown on it, and now this is like the next thing, just hitting it. And so I was sat there thinking, do I need to intervene here?
Yeah, but you're the one who let Elijah go down the hill on the bike with no brakes.
So it won't surprise you that I didn't intervene.
No.
And so I let them on, and Eden, as it goes up, right? So it starts, it's low, and then it goes really high, then starts spinning really fast. As it goes up like a meter off the ground, he just starts screaming. The only one starts screaming like that. And I think, if this is what's happening at 1 meter off the ground, what is going to happen? He's just going to be crying and screaming the whole way around. Anyway, as it goes up a little bit higher, he just like shuts down. Like he just closes his eyes and just goes like this, all limp.
He's fainted.
So I thought he'd fainted, and it was just spinning around, and it was just like this.
Was he all right, like?
He was okay. I think he'd just gone within himself. He was that scared, scared that he'd just gone within himself and shut down. It happened to Emma during labour. I think he gets it from her. So when Emma was having the baby, there was a point where she just shut down into went all like quiet and that, and I was like, oh.
She
wakey. But anyway,
check her breathe.
That's it. And so that's what happened at Alton Towers. We had, but I can't. I'm getting worse with heights. How are you on heights?
I used to be all right with heights, but and I was a roofer for a little bit. So I was fine with heights at one point, but my roof had a leak not long ago, probably 6 months ago or so, maybe a year. Okay. And I thought, I'll get up and fix it. No, not anymore, mate. I got up there and I froze. We nearly had to ring the fire brigade to get me down. Only me pride wouldn't let me get took down by a fireman or a firewoman. You know what I mean? I just thought, nah, I'm not going to fix this roof. I'm just getting down. But I was like rigid. I was like stuck, thinking, no, I've got to get down. No, I can't stay here. This is terrible. Yeah. So I'm getting worse.
I think it is a thing as you get. I don't know if it's because you're closer to death.
You don't want to like make the final leap.
You don't want to make the final step. You don't want to make it easy.
So I'm gonna go out. It's gonna be hard for me to go.
And so I've gone to a place in the northeast called Rosebery Topping, which sounds really friendly. It's a mountain. Well, it's probably a hill, but I don't know. Maybe it's a mountain. But I went to Rosebery Topping with the kids, thinking it'd be a nice climb. And we got like 3/4 of the way up, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
Didn't you do one recently though?
I did Snowdon recently. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. It was horrendous.
Terrified on them. See, I don't think I'd get walking or a roof different, but I don't know what that is.
I think the thing is, it's a lack of control because the kids are like, they have no sense. They're not scared at all, so they're sort of like.
Well, they're used to getting pushed down hills on bikes with no brakes, so they're laughing. For them, this is just another walk in the park, isn't it?
Exactly.
Hey.
And so I got to the bit just before the top, and I couldn't do it, and so they had to leave me. Like my children wanted to go to the top with Emma, so they left me, and I was just literally there huddled, like, don't talk to me. Just go.
Huddled, rocking backwards and forwards.
And so terrifying. Terrifying.
Wow. I didn't realise that about you.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know what to say on that, really.
Yeah.
I want to take the mickey, but I better
don't.
not.
Let's have a look anyway. There's a couple more joining in now.
Who's in now?
Caleb's shouting. Let's have a look. Caleb's shouting, my friends Tom and Alan.
Is right, Caleb, lad.
Good lad. Good lad. Joyce is
glad
here.
to see you better.
Only a man would compare a fairground ride to full-blown labour.
Who's that, Joyce?
That is Joyce.
Yeah. Joyce is a trooper, though, She gets it off her ma, and Ma was like... And Ma, fell and broke her hip, and there wasn't a whimper out of it.
Really?
Honestly. Proper trooper. And Joyce is very similar in terms of pain threshold. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not. I'm a wuss.
I can't.
I stubbed my toe and I'm crying and
I can't deal with the pain thing.
I don't think I'll be able to deal with the pain of labour.
Oh.
I wanted the gas near just watching it. Know what I mean?
Did you try it?
I tried to get an epidural for myself and everything. No, I never tried it. I never tried it. Should have tried it.
You should. I've had it once
You've
when
had
I
to go.
pulled my back. It was horrible. It made you feel like everything sounded like this.
It was like everything. Oh, you just sucked a balloon.
It just,
Helium balloon.
yeah, the world went weird.
All right. Okay.
strange.
I've never done it, no. But yeah, I mean, our Becky, with our Becky, they were like, there was women screaming everywhere, you know, and like, loads of pain. And Joyce is like, she says to the midwife woman, I think the baby's coming. And the woman's like, no, you've got ages, yeah. You're all right. And she's like, no, I think the baby's coming. And then she looked, and the baby went, the midwife went, oh my God, this baby's coming, right?
That'd have been amazing if she'd looked and the baby had started speaking. Can you imagine that?
Just like, my kids are really
You're like,
advanced.
wow, that must have been Rachel rather than Becky.
It was. Yeah. And literally, she's like, we're going to have to deliver this baby. And we didn't even make it. Didn't make it to the room, the labour ward.
No.
We ended up in the cupboard. And I had to help the woman deliver it. Our Becky it was.
Wow.
And literally, at the end of it, she said to me, yeah, there's a needle. I've got to deal with the baby. Put that in your wife's leg.
No.
Honestly, I'm not. Honestly, give her the needle in the leg. And some woman came walking in, holding towels, right? So she was just some sort of, I don't know what she was, but I just went, she's more qualified than me to do this. Yeah, give her that needle.
So they gave you...
They gave me a needle for the kind of after birthday
Yeah.
stuff to get whatever they do that
Yeah.
needle for.
Yeah.
And they give it to me. They said, I'll have to deal with the baby. You'll have to give her this needle. And I was like, no. This is the NHS back in the day, mate. You think it's bad now? We had to deliver our own kids.
They're getting you to do your own medical procedures now.
Yeah. Talk about turkey teeth.
I did, though, the cord.
You cut the
That's
cord.
the modern
I
day
didn't do
man,
that.
isn't it? I did the cord.
I didn't do that, no.
It was
No.
hard.
I was at the other end because I couldn't cope with that end.
No. But
no.
you were there to do the injection. Did you do the injection?
No,
or not?
I give it to the cleaner. The cleaner who came in with she had a suit on, you know, like some
Yes.
scrubs or something on. She had something
Yeah.
on which was more qualified than me. I said so. I said no. She'll have to give you it. I can't do it.
I don't know how we got onto childbirth.
I don't know how
it
we
feels
got on.
very.
It was Joyce.
It feels very unfamiliar
It does.
territory.
Yeah,
I'd
we're
like-
not. We shouldn't be talking about this in
I don't
Finnegan's.
think-
It's not a thing we
It's
talk
not
about.
allowed.
No.
But if you've not been to Finnegan's before, this is Wednesday night at Finnegan's.
Yeah.
Basically, most Wednesdays, me and Alan will be here. It's from a secret location.
Yeah, and we have private members bar, and we invite our mates to come and have a chat. Don't
We
we?
invite our mates in, and
Just like you would in any pub, get down there. There's no sort of agenda. There's no set thing. We just chat and have a laugh.
and me and Alan are both Baptist ministers, and so we
Still.
they.
Yeah. Don't
It
know how.
is coming. It is. I can feel it coming.
I can feel it coming.
There's
More so
rumblings.
for me, to be fair.
You'll definitely go first.
I'll defo go first, yeah.
But, yeah.
You should be all right for another 8 months or so.
a little bit longer. But we're both Baptist ministers, so we talk a little bit of faith. And do you know what I loved? It was great last week. We had my mate Kev
Yeah.
on. Kev came down and he talked a bit about faith, and I loved it. It was really honest, really, talking about ups and downs of faith, and sort of for him, this experience he'd shared, which was kind of like something for him to hold on to, even though his faith had taken a hit and taken hits over time. And in fact, maybe even like, some Christians or certain churches where, it haven't really kind of conveyed God in maybe a way we would have hoped. He was kind of saying how this experience that got, had led him to believe, like, as his like ground level, was that God was for him,
Yeah.
and God wouldn't leave him.
Yeah.
And so if you've not seen that episode with
It was
Kev,
a boss episode. It was a long episode, but it was a boss episode.
it was
Well worth a
great.
watch.
It was well worth the watch.
Last
And so all those episodes are on wherever you could listen to podcasts. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on Spotify Podcasts, but also you can watch it again on YouTube or Facebook. But I'd really recommend that conversation. And also do us a massive favor. You could do us a massive favor now just by sharing this podcast.
Now.
So just click on the share button, write a little thing like, come and listen to these nutters. They're
Dumb and Dumber, apparently.
Baptist ministers, apparently.
Is she in?
And come and
Tal
join
in?
us. I don't know if
She must be
Tal
out running.
is in yet.
She
She's
must be
out
out-
training.
She must be out training,
She's training.
She's defo
because
training,
our dream is basically to end up
Finnegan's.
Finnegan's. There's a Finnegan's in America, and Minnesota, and we're going to end up there doing the podcast.
We are.
Aren't
We're going
we?
to end up there.
And so that's what
They
we're
might
aiming
kick
for.
us out halfway through. They might realise what we're doing and throw us out. But that's the dream.
That is the dream.
That's the dream. We're going to live the dream. Bucket list.
We're going to get there.
Yeah.
And Tal's going to help us.
Tal's raising the money for us.
She's doing it.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
What a girl. Yeah.
And so also,
What else happened this week?
this weekend, I went to.
Oh.
I wasn't at church on Sunday because I went to.
And I was random, Tom.
Well, yeah.
Without you keeping me in check,
Yeah.
it wasn't good. Seriously, wasn't good. Wasn't good.
Oh, I heard
You know when your wife just sits there going
That's a sign.
like that.
Yeah. Stop. Well, I was away. I couldn't. I can't always be there, can I?
No,
mate?
you
To
can't
stop
always
you.
be there,
But I was
so.
basically I was away studying what we call Baptist history and principles. It sounds boring.
It was.
It was boring. Basically, I have to pass this course to be allowed out as a minister.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to. This is what I have to do.
This is the one thing.
This is the one thing I've got to do, and I'm gonna do it.
I had to do 9 years.
So
Yeah,
we're gonna get onto this because Allan actually to train to be a Baptist minister. How long did it take you?
It took 9 years and then 2 years on probation.
And how long does it normally take people?
You can do it in 3 or 4 years. Some people get 2. Depends if you're in one of their favourites or not.
Yeah.
You just know who you are.
And so this basically a 3-year course took you 9 years.
Yeah, 9 years. Yeah, 9 years. Absolutely 9 years. Yeah.
And and actually our guest today is someone who studied with you.
I trained with him, yeah.
And so I think it'd be lovely
Me and John, we
hear
trained together.
Yeah, so it'd be good
Yeah,
to hear
we'll
a little
get to
bit
that
from him.
in a minute.
And so why don't we all welcome John? Let me go over.
Shall we say hello?
Let's say hello to John. How you doing?
There
mate?
he is. He's sitting there quietly.
You're all right. You're on.
You're on now, son.
Hello,
This is your
viewers.
time.
Hello.
Hello, campers.
You're right.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
It is, isn't it? It's good to have.
It is. You're here every week. I'm glad you like it.
It's good to have you with us, mate. Thank you for coming to join us.
It's all right.
We tried to get him on for a while, haven't we? And he keeps like binning us off.
He did.
But he's turned up this week.
He has.
Yeah.
Well, Wednesday night, as you know, is bath night.
He's normally in the bath, people. So we're just happy he's got his clothes on, to be fair.
That was the thing. He has told us that he normally watches Finnegan's while he's having a bath.
Which is kind of slightly disturbing, that image. But never mind.
But I'm glad you're here and fully clothed
And dressed.
today, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the effort.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. So tell us what was it like to study with the main man here? How did you find it?
Well, I was thinking, during your introduction, you were talking about this fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
I remember we had a fantasy football when I was at college, and I don't know if Alan ran it, but he was definitely involved in it. And I don't really like football. I know nothing about football whatsoever, and I didn't really want to be in it. But Alan said to me, "Oh, go on, be in it. All the other student ministers are going to be in it." I said, "All right." So I said, "I don't want to have to do anything. I don't know anything about football." And Alan said, "It's okay. What I'll do is I'll have 2 accounts, 2 teams, and I'll put one under your name." I said, "Oh, that sounds all right." Anyway, over the weeks, people kept coming up to me going, "Your team's doing really well, isn't it? How does it feel to be really near the top of the league?" And then at the end of the term, they had some sort of finale or whatever you call it, some sort of final competition. And there was a prize giving and I got nothing. And I went up to Alan and went, "I thought my team was doing really well." And Alan went, "No, you've got confused. My team did really well. I had 2 teams. You were the other team." That's a 100% true story. He did a bait and switch on me.
I don't recall that.
You take it so seriously.
I do take it serious. You've got to take it seriously.
Fantasy football.
You've got to.
Which is why it was so funny when you did really poorly this season.
Yeah, but I have the odd poor season. Jurgen Klopp has the odd poor season, don't you, Jurgen lads? But so I'll be back this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do you this year.
And how did you how did the studying
All
side
I
of
would
things?
say is just check how many fantasy teams are in there and see how many he's
I've only
actually
got one.
got going on. That's
One
all
I
I'm
have now.
saying. If
That's
you
all
put
I
money
have.
on it as well, just watch him like a hawk.
One I
What do you
have
think
now.
paid for this tiki hut that we're living in?
One.
Tiki hut.
Whatever it
What's
is.
that's nice. A tiki. But someone's asking if you're Welsh, John.
I lived in Wales for 4 years, and sometimes when
he
I'm
does
talking,
these
especially when I'm talking to Welsh people, I accidentally go a bit Welsh. See,
He does
Very
these
good.
accents. He'll do a Scouse one in a minute and everyone will hate him.
Go on, John. Do a little Scouse. Just don't do anything offensive.
I don't do anything
too
offensive.
offensive to the Scouse people.
Well, I lived on the Wirral till I was 4, and
so he's not a scout.
a few years ago, I was at a conference and I was bored, so I rang Allan and chatted to him for about an hour, and then I rang a mate in Yorkshire, and the first thing my friend in Yorkshire said to me is, "Why are you speaking with a Scouse accent?" So it must be something in there, because I realised, well, I've been talking to Allan for an hour and it sort of rubbed off. So by the end of this evening, who
be a
knows,
full-on
maybe
Scouser
I'll
again.
sound full Scouse. So listen out. Let me know in the comments. Have I gone Scouse? How am I pronouncing nougat/nugget?
Well, that
is the question. You know, this is the debate, which is still raging. It was on Facebook today. I don't know whether we've got the video. I don't think we can.
I haven't been able
But
to.
Mikey posted a video. Who's obviously he's a nugget because
He's one of our nuggets,
he's not a
isn't he?
Tory like Tom, right? So we asked John, what is this?
What would you call that, John?
And he go
If
on,
you could
tell
do
me
it in
what
your
you
best
said.
Welsh accent, tell us what you said.
I'm from Lytham St Anne's, by the way, near Blackpool. Well, I'd never really heard of it. He was asking me, and I was like, I don't recall ever seeing it on a shelf. I don't recall ever tasting it. I said, is it a bit like a drumstick lolly? That's the only thing I can think that it's a bit like.
You've never seen one of these before?
So I wouldn't have a name for it because I don't recall ever seeing it or being offered it.
But if you just...
That's because he comes from Lytham St Anne's, where they've only got a Waitrose, probably,
Yeah.
right? So they don't sell that in Waitrose. This is a
like-
home bag and Iceland kind of thing.
It is.
Right?
Is it a bit like caviar because we have that?
Oh, John, you're a long way from home tonight. But I thought you were in Blackpool. That's like
I
proper
am.
rough.
He's
isn't
in
it?
Blackpool, but he's not a Blackpool person.
No,
No, he
Okay.
definitely doesn't do the Blackpool vibe. Yeah,
no.
no. In fact, I mean, is it okay to say he's just quit?
He's just quit.
Just quit Blackpool. And I have to drive round it to get to Fleetwood.
Did you get fired or did you quit? What
It's
was
a
the
fine
deal?
line. Are we jumping in there? We were talking
No,
about nougat 30
let's-
seconds
no,
Oh,
ago.
sorry. Well,
suddenly went
by the way,
very-
Now
well,
we're doing my CV.
well, did you notice? Did you notice straight away? Because he's posh. He said nougat.
Did he say?
He said we were talking about nougat.
There we go.
That's what he just said.
There
It's
we go.
nugget.
Thank you, John.
Happy to help.
Let me off. You let me down, son. John.
So, tell us, John. Anyway, like
What was your question,
I
Tom?
don't know. We were
Compose yourself,
what was it
son.
like training with me? That
what
was the
it like?
original question.
And how did you like? Why? How did you end up a Baptist minister?
Yeah.
Like, how did you even tell us about that? How did that even become a thing? Because I can't imagine. I didn't know if that's a thing you always, wanted to be when you were a kid. Or like, how did
Mother,
that?
one day, when I leave the infant school, I wish to lead a church in the non-conformist denomination. Pass me some nougat with caviar.
Oh, the pastor's wearing off, and he's back now.
Yeah, he's back.
What was the question? What are you saying?
Why did you? How did you become a minister? Why did you want to
Why
be a
did you do
minister?
that?
Why would you do such a thing?
Why did I become minister? It's a long story, but
okay.
basically, well, I wanted to. Well, I was working in the civil service, and I got really involved in the church. And when I was really involved in the church, it got to the point where my day job was getting in the way of serving God in the church. And I worked out that I was probably doing about 20 hours a week voluntary for the church every week.
Wow.
Which a lot of ministers you talk to, that's sort of their journey. And it's a bit of a shock when you lead a church and find out that most volunteers aren't willing to do 20 hours a week. But yeah, so at some point somebody said to me, maybe you should think about earning some money from this. So there we are.
So
you're probably on more money as a civil servant, weren't you, to be honest?
Yeah, they were good old days.
Good
2 hour
old
lunches.
civil servant pension that
That's
you give
right.
up there, John.
Don't bring it up.
Bet you're happy now, aren't
bit
you, with your
touchy.
Baptist
It's a bit
nothing?
touchy.
Me and John were on the same weekends where you had to go to be interviewed.
yeah.
But that's where I first met you, wasn't it? That first weekend.
Well, I was very confused because it was both of our interview to join the college, and during the first 10 minutes, you let slip that you'd already been in the college for about 5 or 6 years. And I was like, so why are you interviewing this late in the process?
That was the first sign that
was the
something
first
having
question.
It wasn't right. I'd already been there, hadn't I? 5 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, 5 years.
And
I'd
they were
already-
finally interviewing you to see whether you could join the
I
college.
think he had to
I
interview
did the
every
first
year.
year. I did the first year 3 times.
Wow.
I literally could have taught the lessons from the first year because they were the same all the time.
Wow.
And I sat them 3 times.
Wow.
In fairness, it's a good thing for the college because they sort of didn't give up on me, even though
they
I
stuck
gave
with
up
you.
on them.
They stuck with you, which is great.
They did charge like 10 grand a year fees though, Al. He just doesn't realise he's been scammed.
That's
I
it.
didn't pay.
Or maybe they didn't realise they'd been scammed.
They didn't realise. Well, I told you, we were
This
talking
is the
before.
thing. Maybe they're going to realise now when they're watching this.
No,
No
we
one's
literally,
watching this.
we had no
That's
one from
great.
the college is watching this. Like I had the interview, and they're all sat there, and they said, "We'd like to offer you a place on the course." This is after 5 years. We'd like to offer you a place on the course, and we've realised that we're not going to expect any money off you. And I went, "Well, you won't be disappointed." And literally said, "You won't be disappointed because I'm not going to give you any." So it was something like 10 grand a year, and I just didn't pay.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice in them, that money.
That's great.
Free.
That.
Scouts
Stealing
and
education.
I wouldn't call it education. I almost had to unlearn lots of stuff when I left. So, yeah, done me head in college.
It was.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's still raw.
Why? What
It's still
was it
raw
about
after
the
about
process?
15, 16 years. I don't know. When did we leave, John?
They kept you after I left.
2010 did we leave? You left a year before me, didn't you? Because you only did 3 years.
I did.
After that, I done 4. But, and then they stick you on probation. I mean, what's going on? And then someone said to me, at the end of the probation period, we decide whether you're going to be a minister or not. And I went, hang on. I've done 9 years and 2 years probation.
Yeah.
And then someone's going to sit across the table from me and tell me whether I'm a minister or not. I went, you're going to say yeah, because I'll batter you. Which is probably why it took 9 years.
That'd be
I
amazing.
didn't kind of have the Jesus stuff going on properly
You
there.
got to the end of the 9 years and they're just like, yeah, nah.
No, I mean, they did with a couple of people. Well, it wasn't 9 years, it was 2 or 3, wasn't it? There was a couple who didn't quite get there, did they?
Oh, but they
I don't want to name names, but
They
yeah.
were weird. You know who you are.
You do know who you are. Yeah, but they let some weirdos
I'm sure
through
some
as
of them
well.
are on probation of some sort right now.
They literally, they let some weirdos through, John. Come on.
Well,
I mean, we won't name names again, but I mean, they did.
One
I mean,
of them
one of
built
them
a
sitting there
shrine
now.
to his own name and does a weekly podcast.
They had to let me through after 9 years, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we met and we had to do this mad Lego thing, didn't we? Do you remember that?
Tell us about that, John.
Tell us.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, the interview to be a minister at college. It's a weird thing. It was like a weekend, wasn't it? And one of the tasks was they put us in a group and they gave us a suitcase and it had a load of Lego pieces in it.
Okay.
And then they told us that they'd start the clock and we had to tip the Lego out and then build the highest possible tower.
Yeah.
And then they would time how long it took in a certain amount of time to build that tower. And then they told us that would be judged against anybody else who'd applied to train that year. And then the ones who built the best tower got in, which ironically, if you've read your Bible, is the opposite of the story of the Tower of Babel, where people had built a big tower, God wasn't happy, and sent them to all the ends of the earth.
I don't think that was the thing. I think what they were trying to look at was if you did teamwork well. Unless you were just like, unless I suddenly sort of went, all right, everyone out the way, I'll build this tower. Do you get what I mean? They were wanting to see if you work together well.
I'm glad you've explained that now, 15 years after the event.
That's what it was about. That's literally what it was about. So it didn't matter how you built it, really, or it was whether you included people and had other people's ideas and accommodated. That was clearly what they were looking for.
Well, now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
There was John just like building the highest tower.
I chinned 2 of them.
I do want to point out we built the highest tower
We did.
ever. They
So
said
we
that's
won.
the biggest tower we've ever had
In the
in
history
the
of the
shortest
college.
time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you are then.
There you go, Tower of Babel.
You would have failed if it wasn't for that. The tower redeemed it for you.
That was it. That was 2 years of probation instead of 4.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to do 4.
4 years of probation.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Very good.
You'll enjoy it. Well, literally, honestly, I could go on all night about this. We did. We literally. Did you do NAMS there as well? You did, didn't you? Newly accredited ministers
I went
for
once
those.
and then they suggested I went somewhere else.
I'm not surprised. Well, I did my NAMS there, my newly accredited ministers things, conferences, and on one, they come in and told us, the fella who was running them, who I won't mention names, he come in and he said, I'm going to tell you, it's been a long day, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. Right? And then he told us this story about the 3 wise women that baked a loaf from the heat of the moon. And my head's like messed up with that because I'm thinking the moon's got no heat of itself. It can't bake a loaf. My head's chocker. How wise are these women? Do you get what I mean? My head is blitzed with this. And he goes on to tell us this story. And then he has his colour and presents in to give to each other. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, We're supposed to be ministers at churches. I wouldn't even do this with kids in church. It was terrible. And they wanted us to pay for that.
It doesn't feel like you played the game very well,
I didn't
Alan.
play the game
and
well.
In fact, Joyce has made a very...
What's she saying?
She says, it wasn't because he was thick that it took 9 years. He was just very argumentative and wouldn't engage in classes, a bit like when he was in school. So I think, Joyce, that sounds like a report,
That was almost Tom's top tips, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
No, my report in school was this. Alan, this is my English report.
Yeah.
You know, end of year report?
Yeah.
Alan is insolent, arrogant, and damn right rude. That was it. English.
Wow.
Where'd you go from there?
Well,
You work on building sites. That's where you go from there, Tom.
there you go. Very good.
There you go.
Very
Never
good.
mind.
John, tell us, mate.
What's the question, Tom? Go on, compose. Go on. What?
I'm just trying to. How did you become a Christian then? What?
Yeah.
Like, why? How did that happen? Like, did you grow up in church? Parents Christians, or what was it? What was the point for you where you thought, even I want to go to church, let alone then do 20 hours a week, killing yourself and then, be a minister, which is obviously not the easiest job in the world. So tell us about that.
Well, I didn't grow up in a church. And I remember when I was about 14, 15, the Gideons came into school and they gave us a talk and then gave out free Bibles. And I remember as I was leaving, they tried to give me one and I told them where they could shove their propaganda.
Oh, wow.
And nobody's ever told them to shove it before and used the word propaganda at the age of 12 for them. So that was my first encounter with church.
We had the Gideons and that was the, I was growing up in a Christian. My dad was a minister, so I was kind of, the Gideons were in, and I was 11, so I was super nervous. So I had to lay low when the Bibles were being handed out. But but I remember my mates, they were just using the pages for Rizzlers and that.
That's hilarious. When they were giving them out, did you take one because you must have had loads at home.
I had plenty. I think I took one. Yeah.
It's free, innit?
It's
free. Why turn something down that's free?
It's only the New Testament and Psalms anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Usually.
Yeah.
Or the New Testament and Rizzlers, depending on
that's
the
it.
persuasion.
Yeah.
So that was when I was 14, 15, and then I didn't go to church. I remember I was dragged to Sunday school a few times when I was very little because Mum thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a babysitting service because once we went into Sunday school, I'm not sure she stayed. But when
she got off.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah. Nice.
But when I was I remember I did that for a while. But then when I was strong enough to hold onto the gatepost, and my grip was stronger than my mum's grip on my ankles at the other end, pulling me down out into the road. Once I was stronger than her, I didn't have to go to church anymore. So that was my experience of church early on. But then I got invited to a youth club after school when I was about 15, and I went once. And it was all right. I mean, it was just a youth club, but there were some good-looking girls there. So Mum picked me up and said,
I think this happens.
This is
what happens.
That's
with
what
what you want, guys, is eye candy. That's what you want. Although that's not my youth ministry philosophy, just to be clear. Otherwise, get into hot water.
That's how Alan ended up in church as well.
So initially I went, it was a youth club, wasn't it? When you're 14, 15, you go to a youth club because, you want to mix with people or whatever.
Yep, Danny the same.
So I kept going week after week. And then after a few weeks, I realised, maybe about 6 months, that all the other kids in the youth club on a Thursday night went on a Sunday morning and I didn't. And I quite thought, well, I'll go and see what's what. And one of the kids said, do you want to come? And so the parents picked me up and took me to church one Sunday. And, it was different to what I'd experienced before. They were singing songs and it was a bit happy clappy. It was a bit more, I just enjoyed it a bit more. It was more fun. The youth group was there. But what really stood out to me was that there seemed to be a sense of family. There seemed to be a sense of belonging. I was welcomed into it.
Wow.
And that was quite different from the experience I'd had in other churches, but also quite different to the experience that I had at home, because home life wasn't great for me. And so there was a place of welcome. And so I went, and each week, I started to go every week, and I went every week for a couple of years. And after this, I don't know if you go to church, you'll know this, but in this church and most churches, after about the first quarter of an hour, we were welcomed. The kids are all sent out after the first few songs to go in their own Sunday school. So we'd go up into our own Sunday school, into this youth room, which was in the attic, and we'd all sit on beanbags, which was really cool in the 90s, but now probably isn't, and certainly wouldn't be very good for my hemorrhoids. But anyway, so we went into this attic, and the Sunday school teachers would try and tell us about Jesus, and I was there from day one, heckling everything they said. I was like, yeah, but can you really believe that? Yeah, but did he really turn water into wine? Yeah, but any questions? To the point where the teachers would say, any questions, they'd see me with their hand up and go, any questions, and avoid my eye contact.
Oh, they'd swerve you
That
off.
was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare.
Classic Sunday school move.
Exactly. But you know what? Over time, what I realised was, even though I was a right pain in the proverbial, they didn't tell me to get lost. Do you know what I mean? They showed me something. And not only did the answers that they gave make sense, and not only were they consistent, but they were backed up by the way they were with me and with one another. And so at some point, I started to think, you know what? I think there might be some truth in this. And then I opened the door to a journey which ultimately led me here. And there's more to that story, but I don't want to go on too long.
Oh, mate, that's really, really good. And I love that, because that's, for me, is church and Christianity at its best. You know, and we heard from Kev a little bit last week about, you know, it goes wrong. Like, you know, Christians aren't perfect in that sense. You know, we make a mess of things still. But to hear your experience, which was, I guess, fundamentally that sort of sense of community and that sense of people loving you and accepting you, that was the thing that held you there to find out almost like the reason why they were doing that, why they would spend time with you. And I think that for me would be. And there's lots of, if you don't go to church, and we have loads of people watch this who don't go to church, that would be my recommendation. Like, go and find one where just the people will welcome you. Welcome you. There's loads of good churches like that where people will welcome you. They stick with you through tough times, and and then you can just start to see, for yourself, is there any reality to this? Find a good church that you could explore some of those questions for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ironic thing is, I've only ever been in one church.
You have?
That's the one I'm now one of the ministers of. So
if you stay there for long enough, eventually
you ends up like me.
You become the minister.
You become the minister. Last man standing. Yeah. That's what happens. So yeah, ironically, I've only ever been in one church since sort of starting to follow God and that at the age of 16. Yeah. Really. So. One church, the one I'm in now, Emmanuel Baptist Church. Won't tell you where that is in case you turn up and rumble us.
But I've heard about Jon that actually, mate, one of your gifts, like your kind of things that you're good at, is telling people about. And to be honest, the way you've just shared your experience, for me, there shows that. But one of the things you're good at is like sharing your faith and telling people who maybe have zero church connection about Jesus.
Can I just interact here? He had a job in the Midlands, and I went to visit him, and it was Brierley Hill, yeah? I went to visit him, and, he was like, I went to visit him because he was basically quitting again. But this first time this was, and he's like, oh, no, I don't want to do it, I can't do it, it's terrible, I don't like it, I can't do it. And anyway, I went to visit him.
He's such a sympathetic ear, isn't he? You want, like, people coming to you are really struggling in life, and you're just going, me.
That's all I can do.
Whining.
Yeah.
Or he'll listen for about 3 seconons, and then you just see his eyes just look off in the distance like that.
Well, I goes to see him.
And in his head it says, the person's going, I'm really struggling with life.
But I went to see him, and we took his rescue dog out, because he's one of them cool dudes who has a rescue dog. And we
I thought you meant blind dog at first, but no.
He was a lovely dog, just doesn't hide, by the way. He was a lovely dog, Toby, border collie. But number one, he wasn't house trained, and number two, he had IBS. But if you take anything away from today, if you get a dog from the Dogs Trust, find out if they've got IBS, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
What a combo.
You should have seen his garden. He never picked any of it up. Right.
Well, it's good for the grass, isn't it?
Sorry, Mark's in. I was wondering where Mark was. Nice to see you.
Evening, Mark. So we goes out for a walk.
What's Tal saying? Why's Tal saying Blue Peterborough?
I've no idea.
Let us know, Tal.
And we goes out for a walk, right? This is the fella who can't do church. It's terrible. He can't do it. His head's done in and all that. Mm. He knew every person we walked down the road. Wow. Like, with everyone we bumped in, they were all going, all right, Pastor Jon. Right? And he was like, oh, how's this situation? How's that? And we literally walked the dog, which would have been probably a half an hour walk, probably took us 2 hours. Right? And when we weren't bumping into people, he's moaning about that he doesn't like doing church and all that, right? Yeah. But he knew everyone in the area.
Yeah.
And I was just like flabbergasted at this, because the lad is just a natural born evangelist. He just is.
Let me talk to that point just briefly, guys. it's been my experience that sometimes people who are Christians feel awkward about sharing their Christianity with people who aren't Christians. And I don't know if that comes from a place of they've grown up with it and they've maybe felt like you, Tom, when the Gideons came in and their mates have ribbed them or whatever. But there's almost this is a slightly embarrassing part of myself. But because I didn't grow up in church, when I was 17, I got drunk for the first time. And mum and dad said, well, it's about time. We were worried there was something wrong with you. Do you know what I mean? And when I started going to church, they said, all right, but don't stay up too late reading a Bible. It's not, be careful. It could be like a cult. Just watch them. So there was nothing embarrassing at all to me about the thought of going to church. So once I realised that this church thing wasn't just this social club, but there was a person behind it, this transcendent God that had an intimate relationship with me. Do you know what I mean? It was like, whoa, this is the best news. I've got to tell people about it. I wasn't embarrassed about it. And all my mates who weren't Christians either were interested. And I would go each week, and tell them I was a member of the Ansel Institute, which is like a working men's club. And
no, I'm not having that.
Yeah, well, mates work behind the bar.
Okay.
And I would tell them each week what was going on, in the church, and I was just telling them sort of my journey as I was going through it, and they were all interested, to the point where when I got baptized, they all came.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There was no awkwardness, and I think most people will have something that they're passionate about, and if they're passionate about it, they'll just tell you about it. And I think Christians sometimes need to just chill out a bit, because the only people who've got hang-ups about hearing about what they're passionate about is maybe them in their own head. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not the same as thumping people over the head with a Bible, because I've had a run-in with a guy in Keswick who told me I wasn't Christian enough. He's lucky I didn't take him out with his own Bible. Those people are annoying, but actually let's not be backward about who we are. Do you know what I mean? Alan goes on about football to me. I have no interest in football, but I let him talk about it because it's his thing. You guys probably like it, I don't know. And sometimes, you know what, I talk about Star Trek to Alan because I love Star Trek. But you know what I mean? So being a Christian and being a follower of Jesus is part of who I am. And so I'm relaxed about sharing that. And it actually makes me who I am. And if I get on with someone, part of that is because they're getting on with the part of Jesus that's working in me. And the reason I'm interested in their life is because Jesus was interested in me first. So why would I pretend it's not the case?
And I think we're in a great cultural moment where your story and your worldview and your journey is as valid as anyone else's, so everyone's is important.
Yeah.
So we're all able to share our experience, our journeys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much better and easier now to do that, I think. That's just, I'm a bit older than all of you, so back in the day that wasn't the case, if you get what I mean. But
I think
only a bit older than you, not that much.
You're
only good 15.
You're a lot older.
How old are you, Sid?
But also you look rough as chuff. Hard life, Al.
Say that again. You look rough as chuff.
Rough as chuff. It's a Blackpool thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask what chuff is. We'll just leave that there.
Go on. What were you going to say, John?
I've forgotten because I'm old too.
You're not that old.
No, I think what it is if you're genuinely interested in... I'm genuinely interested in people.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a great evangelist, which is the churchy word for telling people about Jesus. But you can be an evangelist about all things, can't you? An evangelist about the latest Star Trek series, Strange New Worlds, which is streaming on Paramount Plus now. But actually,
mate,
I'm just
people who watch this are more into Love Island. I don't think.
The nearer it gets to 9 o'clock, the viewing figures they just plummet.
Well, that's just because you can stream Strange New Worlds anytime.
Okay.
But actually, no. What it is I'm interested in people. And some of that comes from the fact that I'm a Christian, and so I care for people. And I didn't have that before I became a Christian, to the point where my mates said, there's something different about you. What is it? And I was able to say, I had to stop and think, I think it's because I've suddenly realised that God cares about me, and that seems to have changed the way I care about other people. So I'm not going up to people because I'm desperate to evangelise or thump them with the gospel.
Absolutely.
I'm genuinely interested in meeting people, genuinely interested in hearing their story, genuinely interested in making a connection, and genuinely interested in seeing if we can both grow as a result.
I mean, that's what came across in that 2-hour dog walk. You weren't trying to convert these people. You weren't. You were just chatting to them. You were walking the dog, and you were just chatting to them. But it was about their life.
Yeah,
because you knew the situations behind the stuff, and you'd said you'd prayed and things like that. Yeah. It was. I came back from that dog walk, and I was just humbled by what I saw. That's just the way it was.
I mean, in all honesty, also, if you've got a dog with IBS, it's best taking him on a long walk and letting him empty out the garage, if you know what I mean, before you bring him in for the night. So there's probably a little bit of that going on as well. But cheers, mate.
Empty out the garage.
He had a lot of cars in there. What can I say?
Do you know what? I once just sorry, and that's you. Well, you did this because that was beautiful what you said. So I really liked it. But then we talked about cars and garages. But I used to do a job where it was data entry. I mean, it's a job that is most definitely now done by a computer. But but I used to do it, and the fella every morning would about the same time would say, "And I'm just going off to drop the kids at the pool." And I genuinely thought he had children who just loved to swim. And so I genuinely thought he's got some
kids to the
he's
pool.
got some arrangement.
What a father.
With the,
Better than you pushing them downhill on a bike with no brakes. That's all I'm saying.
I thought, how did he negotiate that deal with the workplace that he could take his kids out for a swim every morning? And so I did that. I think I actually asked him in the end, "What?
Can I take my kids out? I've got no kids.
Yeah.
Can I take me dog for a walk?"
Well, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because there's contrasting sort of ministers. Because obviously John shows a genuine love and care for people, and Alan kind of hates people. So it's different.
I knew you were going to go there. Then
It's different things
I
for
don't
different.
hate people.
You just hate it when they talk.
I'm just battle hardened. I don't hate people. I like people.
I'm only messing.
I like
Sorry.
some people.
Some people. Yeah.
I've just done this job that long that I don't know. I'm just done in. It's done me in. People do you in, don't they?
I think the thing about Alan as well is that I joke, but you do. I think Alan, if someone's going through a tough time, then Alan will magically appear. And I imagine on this dog walk, that's probably why he'd gone to see you. John maybe.
Well, it was why I'd gone down there because John was quitting.
Yeah.
I mean, he quitted about a month later, so it didn't really matter. But
Yeah, if only you'd shared that heartwarming story about 10 years ago, mate.
But that's all right. I hear there's a Baptist church in Netherton that's going to be looking for another minister soon. So if you need a job, John,
I'll update my CV.
that's it. Very good. Oh, it's good. It's so good.
oh dear, yeah.
Brilliant. I'll just have a little look. Oh,
Who's on?
I'm seeing Josh is saying he's never seen Love Island. Is it any good?
Not for you, Josh.
Not for you, Josh. Stick with us, mate.
yeah,
Don't head off.
Don't go. It's nearly finished now as a series. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, Tarsus, if you want to feel bad about yourself, then watch. I was just talking about Love
She's
Island
talking to
rather
Josh.
than this.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Craig.
Who's this?
I think Craig's your next door neighbour, isn't it? He says we live in challenging times. Trying to share your holy experiences is difficult. It's difficult to share, I find.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's spot on.
There's
It can
different
be, can't it?
personalities, isn't there? You know,
Yeah.
John's an extrovert. You can't. I'm surprised we've kept him so quiet sitting
Yeah.
over there.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
had to mute him about 14
We
times.
did. I've got on my new
And we've
toy,
locked him
I
in.
can mute him.
We've locked him in. Otherwise,
have.
he'd be off for a walk. He's an extrovert, so he loves talking to people. Where I'm an introvert, I don't like talking to people. That's what you're getting at when you say he like hates people. It's not that I hate people. I just don't like talking.
It's
to
true.
people.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
dead
it is.
shy
Yeah,
normally.
it is.
So so if we go to I can guarantee if we walked into a room, John would be all over the room. You'd know John was there instantly.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a corner to sit in. So there's just different personalities, isn't
Definitely.
there? You know, horses for courses, they say, John.
Sorry.
What have you got to say?
What? Sorry, what?
He's so interested. He zoned out.
I was with you.
It's just like
He completely zoned out, didn't
I'm
he?
with you. I was thinking at the ministers' conference how you sit in the corner and sit in the back, don't
I
you?
do sit in the
Every
corner.
year at the ministers' conference, you sort of sit in the back on the floor or in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
And one year, didn't they get us to paint our feet or something, and you just flat out refused and thought it was a waste of time?
Well, I mean, come on. We've got a whole room full. Well, there's 70-odd ministers of churches there.
Yeah.
And they said, what we want you to do is get a piece of paper, take your shoes off. We want you to draw around your feet. And we've got this dodgy paper cross in the middle of the room. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our footprints like they're walking away from the cross from here to our mission fields. And I was just thinking, no. And then they said, so we are. And I went, I'm not doing it. And they went, just do it. Can I say what I better not say what I actually said.
go on, say it. Just adjust it.
Just to just.
I'll
Just
adjust
adjust it.
So I'll adjust it. So I Trevor, our friend from Rill, he went, our Baptist minister in Rill Baptist.
I like Trevor.
He's a good lad. We should have him on.
Yeah.
He said, come here, Alan, I'll draw around your feet. And I went, you can draw around my backside. I'm off. And then I walked out. I like pushed the door really loudly, walked out, got through the other side of the door and went to myself, did I just really say that out loud? I couldn't believe I'd said it.
Ironically, back in the day, they didn't have enough paper to cover the
That's
size
what he
of
said. That's what he said. He said, we haven't got a big enough piece of paper.
A1.
Billboard. You were only saying you seen a picture of me on the memory on Facebook, didn't you? And I was like, proper. Yeah. I had a big head with a little head inside.
You did. It was
like I'd ate myself.
It was impressive. I used to be the thin one of the two of us, and sadly those days are behind us.
Oh, well.
Diabetes,
you know, that's what it does for you.
It's on the list of things to get. Tommy Hamilton wish
with
list.
diabetes,
things to do.
What they basically say is, you're losing weight, you either like eat less or we're chopping off a leg.
Yeah.
That's what they say with diabetes.
One or the other. Take your pick.
choice.
Dear me. Yeah.
Go on, John, what were you going to say?
What I was going to say was, the first ministers' conference I went to with Alan, and we'd obviously been friends a long time, but I've been ministering in other parts of the country. So the first time I went to a ministers' conference with Alan was only about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Obviously, we were at college together, but then I've been all over the country in the last 15 years. And we were starting, and I came in after him because I'm late for everything. And he was standing by the door. And I said, it's starting. He went, yeah, I know. And I said, are we not, where are you sitting? And he said, I haven't decided if I'm staying yet. And I thought he was joking. And I went and sat down, and after 10 minutes I turned around and he'd gone.
Wow.
I found him about an hour and a half later, halfway through a bottle of red wine with his own cheese board that he brought from the car.
He does do that. You bring your own wine.
Copious amounts of cheese. Yes.
So you just find Alan in the corner
It's
spreading
the
some
best
cheese.
thing about ministers' conference. It's the only thing that's good about a minister's conference.
Don't say that.
Why?
Because I'm still going to be on that probation thing.
Yeah, you've got to go. They're checking if you go.
Are you trying to
like
tell
it.
me you enjoyed it?
I did.
Come on,
Yeah.
hands on heart.
Me and John had a
Jesus
great
is
conversation
listening.
in the jacuzzi.
In the jacuzzi.
We did, didn't
but
we?
they're checking your attendance for the actual sessions.
Yeah.
Whereas we go and I kid you not, by the last day, more people attend Alan's impromptu wine and cheese evening than go to the session where they paid a speaker and flown him in.
Listen, that's Alan's awful advice.
Alan's
you shouldn't
awful
follow my
advice.
advice. I mean, that was basically in college. Don't follow what Alan says because
Yeah.
you'll be here for 9 years. So, Alan's awful advice. Advice you should ignore. Yeah. Don't take cheese and wine to a minister's conference. There you go. That's awful
told,
advice.
isn't it?
Obviously, take loads.
I'm going to try and bring
Yeah,
this back
we
to
need
some
to,
sense
we need
of,
to. I
but
don't
Craig,
know
Craig, I think it is. Well, my advice for Craig is kind of.
Craig's boss.
Is he?
Yeah,
I've not met Craig.
He's boss.
Is it Craig your neighbour?
Yeah.
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 And so I think
He's boss.
people sharing
Does
something
loads of
about
things.
your faith is tricky, but I genuinely think people they want to hear a story. They want to hear about your life,
The reality
rather than
of it.
trying to
Yeah.
you know,
Rather than trying to come up with some sort of theological statements.
Yeah.
They want to hear why you live your life the way you do, basically.
and what
that's it.
difference your faith has made.
Why do you do this? Why do you choose to do that? Why?
Yeah.
Why? That's it. And it doesn't have to be all. You don't have to get all the right words. It's more about, as John said in that youth group, it was more about him seeing that some of the things, and they didn't turn their back on him, but it was more their actions than their words that convinced them there was something in this.
I think people are searching for meaning. We're all searching for meaning, aren't we? And I think we find our meaning in other people, in our relationships with other people, and we work out what we think about life and what we think about ourselves by genuinely looking and asking other people, well, what gives your life meaning? So I think that, and actually I hope that when people meet me and they see something different about me, and I share that part of what gives my life meaning alongside Star Trek is my relationship with God. And I hope that helps them find their own purpose, their own meaning, their own value and worth. We're all just rubbing along against each other. We're all just bumping along against each other, aren't we, in this journey of life? And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with just finding out a bit about the person who you're walking alongside.
No.
Definitely.
Very good. Anyway, Craig, you just keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're sound.
Craig's one
And
of
a
our
boss neighbour.
He's one of our regulars now, Craig, isn't he? We could have him in, couldn't we? If
We
he's
could
next
have Craig
door,
in.
Craig could come
He's
in.
Do you ever
Come
invite
in.
Craig into the hot tub?
Does
He's
Craig?
only next door to my house. He's not next door to the secret location
Well, that's it.
where Finnegan's bar is.
It could be anywhere.
So we'd have to maybe blindfold him until he's on the wall.
And then
or barred. Yeah. I mean,
we're
who knows?
gonna find that out in a
We're gonna
minute.
find that out with
The other thing you do, John, is you're in the police or something. You're busy. You're busy. I've got to be honest. That doesn't go
That's a terrible
down.
thing around here.
Around here, that
that's
doesn't
worse
go
than
down.
Tom being a Tory. Right?
I'm not a Tory.
I'm not sure.
Don't punch me, please. I'm not a Tory. Alan's telling people to punch me because I'm a Tory. People are calling me a Tory, and it's really dangerous.
Honestly, I think calling you a Tory
really
in the
dangerous
street.
around here to be called a
Are
Tory.
you getting called a Tory in the street?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm getting called Tory all the time now.
That
It's
is
a thing.
I mean, that
And
is
honestly,
so funny.
someone will not.
I'm
Someone
going
will
to change it to let's not call him a Tory anymore. Just say
Thank you.
You're a new guy, and we all know what that means. Then he's a Tory. Yeah.
All right, go on. Well, that's better than Tory.
You're a new
I
guy.
think you're Nuggets. You're Nuggets. But John, so you're a busy, and you'd like us to beat you up. Is that correct? No. What would you do? What do you do with the busies? Arrest people.
You're a
Go
thin
on.
ice, sunshine.
Sorry, mate. Go. Oh.
Oh, there he is.
Next time you're up in Blackpool for the Tory party conference, I'm going to have you. And he does come every year, guys.
Go on. I don't. What? Flipping heck. Go on. Tell us a bit about the police thing.
What are you?
Well, I do something called chaplaincy, which is where Christians, often ministers, but not always, go into different spaces that are not usually churchy spaces. So you go into companies or organisations and are a spiritual and pastoral presence for those of all faiths and none. And I've done that for years. And so part of my chaplaincy work, I work with the Army Cadets, and part of my chaplaincy work, I go and support police officers and staff, and sometimes people who have been victims of crime or people who are in the cells. And I've done that for a number of years here. I did it in another church before that. I actually asked the fire station first because it's on the same street as the church, and they said they weren't interested. They actually said, we'll run it up the ladder and let you know. And I thought they were joking, but they said it with a straight face and didn't twig what they'd said.
We'll run it up the ladder.
Yeah. But anyway, they never
Slide
got...
it down the pole.
Yeah, exactly. So they never got back to me. But then the police found out that I'd done it before and asked if I'd do it. And so part of my role as police chaplain is to go on ride-alongs, because that gives me an understanding of what happens on the front line, but also I can chat to police officers.
Front line.
Hang
I'm
on.
the only one that calls it ride-alongs, by the way. I'm like, oh, we got a
hang on.
ride-along. That's so cheesy.
I think we need to interject here because I know he isn't just a chaplain. I know he's
I'm
got a
building.
warrant card in his pocket.
It's not that. I'm just pleased to see you, mate. That's funny.
Tao's just gone grass. Just straight away.
And fine grass on you, Tao. That's possession. That's Class B drugs.
So you're a special.
I am. So after chaplaining for a couple of years and going out and about, I saw the difference that police officers made. I saw just how short-staffed they were. And I was going out anyway, so I thought I'd do the training so that I could be a bit more use when I go out. So I did that. So in February, I tested as a special constable. And now I go out and do 2 shifts a month as a police officer, as a volunteer police officer.
Have you arrested anyone?
No, I see the appointments. That's what you call them, like the parva and the baton and the handcuffs. I see them mainly as decorative. I'm not going to lie to you.
So they give you all of the stuff.
He's got parva spray.
He's like a Baptist minister, and they've got.
I'll be
given you
honest,
all the bits and
at the
pieces.
moment-
I mean, they'd be dead handy in church, wouldn't they? Bit
And
of
at the
parva
moment, can you
spray.
imagine that? Just someone's while you're doing the preach, someone's like chalking, you just spray them in the face.
yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It would bring great satisfaction. At the
Every
moment,
Sunday at Emmanuel.
the handcuffs at the moment are in my bedroom.
Okay.
So
But did I-
you
wait,
told me.
have they-
Go on.
Can't believe you let that joke go. But
I don't
it's
not
true
go.
story.
We're not
Some
going
we
there.
just
Move
let
on,
go
move
by.
on. There's kids watching.
So what? Have they given you training to have a baton on that? They can't just let you loose,
Yeah.
surely. How does that work? Have you been trained on the spray?
I'm going to have to be careful not to do any jokey answers that can be taken out of context and get me into bother.
Okay.
Um,
I think,
so I won't give
it's
you-
a little bit late for that.
About an hour too late, John.
Go on. What happened with the pepper spray?
Well, you get trained on how to use all this stuff, and you have to learn the law and all that. Special constables have the same powers as police officers, police constables, but they're really a supportive role.
No one takes them in serious,
no,
do they?
I think, yeah. Wait.
I mean, if a special constable come up to anyone around here, they just go, "Shut up, mate."
Well, actually, in Lancs we wear the same uniform, so you wouldn't know. But it happened during the war. So during the Second World War, a lot of people were called up, and so it's all like like the Territorial Army or the Army Reserve as it is now. That's what specials are. They were initially to back up the regular police, and we kept them, although the differences were volunteers. And so, what are you asking? What was the training?
Yeah, for the pepper spray.
Right, okay. I think they're referring to the story where... So this pepper spray, as you're calling it, is called parva. And it's actually this solution that's made with... there's a chemical they put in food to make it artificially taste like chili. So it's like an artificial chili. And it's been invented for mass production of food. But the police decided it'd be a good idea to put that in a spray and spray it at people.
Do you use it on your like chili con carne instead of oil?
It's pretty strong. It's not as diluted as it would be. So it's like really hot sauce. And they put it in this spray. And the reason they don't use CS spray anymore and pepper spray is because people have adverse reactions, so they use this parva. But they said in order to, when we started training, they said on week 8 or whatever it is, you're all going to have to experience parva in your eye so that you know what it's like. So if you're tussling with someone and someone's, as happens most of the time in reality, if someone tries to spray a suspect with parva, it's more likely to go in a police officer's eye who's standing next to him. So they said you need to have experienced it and know how to react.
Wow.
But they said also, so you don't marinate people in it. You've got to know how serious it is, so you're a bit more sparing.
Marinate, is that the term they use?
I'd be using it on all my stuff.
I'd be using it on the kids. So
get to sleep.
Eat your dinner.
So they told us that we'd have to experience it in our eyes on week 8 of the training or whatever. And I thought they were joking. Every week they were talking about it, and I thought they were joking. Why on earth would they spray this stuff in our eyes? And then the day came and they said, how are you all feeling about this afternoon? We'll do it after lunch. And I still thought it was a wind-up. And then after lunch, they had us all line up outside against the wall, and there was about, 15 of us or something. And they got this cup, like just a small plastic cup, and a cotton bud, and they dipped it in this sort of solution that was kind of milky white, I guess. And then they walked up, and I was third in the line. So this guy walked up, and he had a different cotton bud for everyone because of hygiene. And he made us pull our eyelids down, and then he rubbed it on the inside of the eyelid, and then stepped away. And the last thing he said was, "I'm really sorry, I had to do that." And I watched, and as the first person had it done, and they dropped to the floor screaming, I suddenly thought, this isn't a wind-up. And I'd been the only one that was so blasé the whole 8 weeks, the whole day. And I thought it was a joke. I honestly thought they'd line us all up and then go, only kidding, we wouldn't do that, get back inside. And then the first one's on the floor crying and screaming. The second one's on the floor, he comes to do me. And I see him sort of coming in, and I lift my eyelid down, I'm trying to turn, and I feel it. And it goes, and it's this cool gel. And I thought, I must be immune.
Nice. Yeah.
That's not so bad. And then a second later, boom. And it was like somebody had got a load of needles and shoved them in my eye and started turning them. And
I know what that
both
feels
eyes
like.
clamped shut. And I was on the floor for quite some time. But you know what, actually?
You were on the floor?
It was a lot of pain.
Wow. Okay.
But I was not one of the worst because I kind of came out of it before some of the others and went to make a cup of tea, and I came back and still some of them were on the floor and one of them threw up. So it wasn't that bad.
Wow.
And that was only a little bit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So so don't get parvoed, guys.
No, my hope's still watching this. I thought she'd be in bed by now, but she's saying, hey, you would only have to give Eden that spray. Me and Elijah always eat our dinner. Just in case. She thought it was possible that I might be getting some of that spray.
Might just get it up to his belt.
I won't be getting you any spray.
No. You have to
You've got to have
say
it in your
that,
eye
don't
first.
you? You have to say that.
Well, we have to keep... It's technically a firearm, which is a bit wussy, because in America you can buy it in a mall if you're 5. But it's technically a firearm, so it has to be kept in a special locker called a parva locker in a police station. How
Very
nerdy
good.
is that?
That is very
That's almost up there with Star Trek.
Yeah, that's it.
To put it in perspective, so far my special in career has been Kirkham Club Day, where I wandered around and chatted to people, Lytham Club Day, where I wandered around and chatted to people, Beaturder Festival, where I wandered around and chatted to people. There's a common theme here.
Yeah.
I'm the guy, when they don't really want to send the real police because they've got better things to do, but they should probably have someone there to chat and let kids try on their helmet and stuff at fun days. That's what I'm doing. That is my niche.
No,
That's what you were born for.
Yeah, and one day I will parva one of those kids. There's a sell-by date, use-by date on that parva. I'm going to use it on the last day on whoever happens to want to sit in a police car.
fair play to you, though, John.
Yeah,
I love
play.
it. I love it. It's like your fate. It's the whole thing, isn't it? Right from the beginning, where you said you met someone who their faith made a difference to their life, and your faith makes a difference to your life. And I know, I think that's just fantastic. I think that's ace, and you can see that with the police thing, with the walking your dog. That's
He's boss.
To drop the kids off at the pool.
He's a good lad. I can't believe he's quit again. I just can't. I tried to talk him out of it, but he wasn't having any of it. No. He's quit.
Right, we're coming towards things now. I've got some advice for you, though. I thought I'd give you some of... there we go. Tom's top tips tonight.
It's Tom's top tips.
I was thinking about it, and... this is the last one before the summer holidays, isn't
so
it?
It's got to be a good one.
It's going to be... Well, yeah, it's always good. I think we can agree on that. But this is excel
because they've got 6 weeks to marinate this one.
Well, yeah, like Parva or whatever.
Parva in your eyes.
But what I thought is, because it's holiday time, I would give some holiday-related wisdom. And so I've got some actually.
Yeah, okay.
So
hit me with it.
I've got 3, and they normally increase with intensity.
Okay.
As I share them.
Yeah.
So this is it. Look, John. Look, can you see John over there? He's gone now. He's stretching.
I'm doing my Pilates because my back's hurting because you put me on this really camp stool, and I thought you weren't going to cut back to. I thought we were done. I'm doing Pilates.
You're not done. You're not done yet.
You're not done. We'll be back to you in a minute. Anyway, sorry, John. So here we go. Look, let me go back to him. I don't know if you can see him.
Where is he? That's why we locked him in.
Step forward just a little bit and show people what you're doing. Go on.
Pilates.
Show us your...
from the back.
That's it.
Right, carry on.
He's like a really bad sprinkler.
I love that. I love that. So, sorry, serious.
Yeah.
Tom's top tips. So, holiday-related advice. So, I'm going to say to you,
Yeah.
rest is not a waste of time, but it is the realization that we can sometimes achieve more by doing less.
I'm just letting it marinate.
That's good, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I like the way that one, the cadence of it. We can sometimes do more.
The what?
We can sometimes the cadence. Cadence. John knows what that word means.
I've never heard.
11 years, no wonder.
No.
So we can sometimes achieve more by doing less. It's nice that. Look, I've even got I think I've got some. Nice that, isn't it?
The midwife came. She gave me some advice when she came. We had our baby, and she come around to talk to us. You know the way they do. And she said to me, not Joyce. She said to me, when baby rests, daddy should rest as well.
Daddy.
Yeah. I never ever seen her again. So I've took her advice on board for like 20 or 30 years. 30 years.
Wow.
Always have a nice little rest.
Anyway. Second one.
Yeah.
If you get tired, learn to rest. Don't learn to quit. It feels a bit awkward.
John.
It feels a bit awkward, that one, because John's
he's quit. He's quit the show, look.
He's gone.
He's doing ballet dancing in the corner.
John, if only you'd been here.
Yeah.
To hear that
if you'd have been here last week, John, you'd still have a job as a Baptist minister.
And finally, it feels too soon to be joking about that,
actually. He hasn't actually gone yet. He's just in his notice period.
John.
I know, he's
okay.
He'll be back. Don't worry.
This is probably my favourite one.
He's joining our church.
I'd love John to come and join our church.
He is. He's got to keep his membership somewhere, otherwise he loses his accreditation.
The ministry department might be watching this. I'm joining your church because
you're a valued member of our community.
Right. Yeah. All right, and the last one is this. Oh, this is lovely. This is the best. This is lovely. Yeah. Taking time to rest gives you the opportunity to take life's greatest adventure, the journey within.
Lives or lives. You spelt it wrong, didn't you?
I wasn't sure I'd get as I said it. I thought I'm not going to get away with that, especially after I just got into you about the word cadence. So, life's greatest adventure, the journey within.
The journey within.
I don't actually know if I would agree with that.
I just think.
Anyway,
Tom's top. That was Tom's top tips.
It's Tom's top tips.
I'm not sure I've got any comeback on them, except probably if you just rest all the time, you don't have to worry about any of what you just said.
It's Alan's awful advice. Advice you should ignore.
Literally. If I just rest
yeah,
and don't do anything,
yeah,
then life's a good one.
it is. I just.
Life's a good one. Simple as, isn't it?
I'm trying to.
Mine's
give you
easier to follow.
I'm trying to. Emma's shocked that I applauded my own advice, but I thought she'd know me by now.
You what?
But
I can't. I need my glasses. You were. You applauded your own
I
advice.
applauded my own advice. Standard. Okay. All right. Well, we've got just a couple of things to do to finish. And do you know what, John? Our mate Kev.
He won.
He won Play Your Cards Right last week. And he won the mug.
And it's gone.
If you say Nougat, you're a Tory. He won it. It's gone. I haven't sent it to him yet, but it will do.
Oh,
I have some questions. So you're saying I have to play a game and that if I win, I have to take something from here home?
Well, you don't have to.
I'm good. I've seen it all. I'm completely good.
Is there nothing in church merch that you'd like?
Church merch, mate. Church merch.
Oh, hang on, actually. Can I have this Sky remote? I could do with the spare.
Does that still work? Has it got a battery?
That's the sports telly, and you can't have that.
Oh, yeah. Should I take him as a combo? Is this part of it? Can I have this telly?
No, you can't have the telly.
You can have
Oh,
the
I'm playing
TV.
for the telly?
Yeah.
And the remote.
He's playing for the telly. And
this is legally binding because technically it's being transcribed by YouTube and there's witnesses.
And we're throwing the video VHS player to go with the TV.
No, I don't need a VHS player, mate. Just take the TV, it's fine.
All right, it's fine. It's Alan, so you can have it. So,
thanks.
Anyway, so Kev won, but I don't think it's possible 2 weeks in a row. Have
If Kev took a mug and I could get a plasma screen, I don't think Kev won. I think that was a winner for Kev if he's watching.
Ray, all sorts over there. Ray's Horn still.
Hashtag
here.
raise horn.
Hashtag Ray Horn. Ray's Horn.
I thought you'd have been interested in the guitar.
There's a guitar. Have a look at that guitar back there.
I've seen it. Stringless guitar.
Yeah, top guitar.
I thought. Has it got no string? I thought it had one.
None.
No, it's
It's got no strings on it. No strings attached to this purchase.
There's also Emma's album over there.
Yeah.
Again, I'm probably all right. I'm joking,
Oh!
Emma. I'm joking. It's fantastic. Looking forward to winning that.
Just sign that for you if you want, mate.
Really?
So, okay.
Can you make it out to eBay user, please, Emma?
eBay user
Valued
125.
eBay user.
Okay, all right. So here we go. I'm going out. She's
will
going to
kill
kill
you,
you, mate.
Yeah.
You can,
Go on.
you can buy strings on eBay. Oh, Emma's just said fuming.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Oh, hang on. Rachel Hall. Rachel's the first time she's commented. She's been watching quietly. Tom, I agree. We should all rest. I will drop the kids off at your house next week. Thanks for the advice.
You realise that's just a euphemism about going to the toilet. She's really just saying she's going out to your house to use the bidet.
Wow.
Right, come on, card game, lads. We all want to get
it's
off.
a card game, yeah. All right.
Are you going to deal me 5 cards?
I'll deal you 5 cards. Okay,
Yeah,
1,
don't show them. Don't show them.
2, 3, 4, 5. This
Okay.
2 people can't win on the trot. It's not mathematically possible.
No, because we'll have no telly.
We'll have no telly because that's the thing. Okay, here we go. So, first card. It's a 2, and you can swap that if you want, but
I think you should.
You should
Since
keep
though
it.
it's my telly.
what do you think? Do you want to keep that or...
Now, I need to just clarify because I don't normally make it this
Aces are
far
low.
into the podcast. I normally turned off by now. So I didn't even
bar-
know you played this game.
The
Well done,
bath's
you
gone
guys.
cold and he's had to
Yeah.
get out. That's
He's had
what
to get
normally
out, yeah.
happens at this point.
That's probably true. Aces, no, I'll go higher.
Higher, of course you will. Aces are low, though. That's true. So it still could be an ace, but I think you're right.
Thanks for
So we're
explaining
going to
that,
go
Tom.
higher than a 2.
Higher than a 2.
It's a
is
queen!
Oh, that's the second queen you've had on the show tonight.
Yes. Please help us out at home. Higher or lower,
Higher or
than
lower.
a queen. So this is your chime. Even if you've been quiet all night, help John out because he really wants that TV. And so the prizes got better tonight, didn't they?
Not half.
So do you want to go higher or lower than the queen, John?
I'm going to go lower, I think.
There's people.
Well, what are people saying?
Lower. Josh is saying lower. Miriam's saying lower.
What's Pete saying?
Mark's saying lower. Pete has got off. Pete, are you watching?
Pete's no.
Oh, go higher, my dad says.
Yeah, go higher.
Your dad, oh,
Yeah.
no,
He's
I'm
trying
not
to
sure about
protect
that.
My telly.
protect the
Thanks,
telly.
Tim. Thanks,
Right,
Tim.
lower.
Lower.
Right,
You're going
it's
lower,
as
yeah.
well. Get rid
Okay.
of that one. So lower than a
Lower.
queen. Aces are low. Oh, what is happening? That TV could be going. What is
Well,
happening?
it's a Samsung as well. It's better than mine Tesco own.
Oh, how are you feeling, John? This is going.
How many cards am I away from this Samsung?
3.
3.
3 cards.
Yeah. Okay. Higher or lower than an ace? We all know
I'm
you're
gonna
going to
go higher.
say higher. So higher than an ace.
All right, don't take the fun out of it, mate. Driven to Liverpool from Blackpool.
It's a 3. Wow. This is. He's getting nervous. Higher or lower than a 3? Let us know at home. I mean, obviously, I think this is going to come down to the last card on the TV.
This is very
And
exciting.
it's fuming.
give the TV away?
It's been said now. It's been agreed.
It wasn't in church merch, the TV.
It's in the area, mate. It's in the area.
It's part of the private
thought-
What are we going to do over the summer for the World Cup and the Christmas?
Watch it on your
We
iPad,
won't be able
mate.
to watch it.
We've got one card left. Okay.
We've got two.
I'm gonna say higher, mate.
Higher than a 3.
you
Okay,
can have
higher than a 3.
Higher than a 3.
Let's see what happens.
Oh,
my
amazing. Amazing. Is this on a bracket? I mean, can I have is there a bracket that comes with it? I might need to borrow a screwdriver.
This has gone so wrong. This has gone so
Looks
wrong.
like it would come off quite easily.
So,
What's the question?
oh dear.
Higher or lower than
Higher
a
or
queen?
lower than a
yes.
queen. So let us know at home.
This is exciting. How long can we drag this out?
Higher. People are. Let's see what people are saying. People are saying.
You need a sound effect board, really.
Here we go. Here we go. Higher or lower than a queen?
I think I'm going to have to go lower, Tom. Let's be honest. I'm going to have to
Okay.
go lower. Is this for the win?
This is for the win.
telly.
This is for the TV.
I'm pretty excited. What are you going to put up next week? Yes!
Oh,
Thank
twice.
you, Finnegan's Bar.
On the
Thank you,
trot.
Samsung.
Twice.
Fantastic. Right, you guys finish off the show while I get this off the wall. I'll bring the car down the drive.
This has turned out really well for John.
Does it come off?
He's trying to get the TV
I'll
off
do
the
it
wall.
later. I'll only end in catastrophe. That's brilliant. I could do it with a TV in my bedroom. Well, I can have one in
Wow.
the bath for next week. Or no, in September when you start again. You can have one at the end of the bath in the bathroom.
Alan, I don't know how I feel about that, mate. Oh, hang on.
Speechless.
We've got a sound for that emotion. Have a look. And you spent all that money on this as well, so you
And
can't
now
even
I need
afford
to
the
tell you.
TV. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Although, I just want to say, Emma's saying she's still fuming about the album.
Oh no!
So at this point-
that comes with the TV,
No,
right?
at this point, I'm going to give you the opportunity to
Oh.
swap the TV for Emma's album.
Oh, now that is a tough one, isn't it?
That
Because
is
Emma's album is
really good.
fantastic.
You can get it
I've
for
heard-
free
I've
in the
heard some-
grocery, but
Oh, hang on a second.
Not a signed
Can
copy.
you get a Samsung in the grocery?
There
They
is
have got
one in
one. They've
there.
got a better one in the
is-
grocery.
Well,
to be
we're
honest.
to be honest, we're going to have nick it if you take that. We're going to take the one from the grocery. So
So the album's looking good, John.
If,
you want the
if
album?
Emma signs the album for me, then I'm still going to take the telly. Right, over to you in the studio.
very good, very good. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to move on quickly. What Tal's saying? What's your favourite song off the album, John?
Oh, I really like the third track,
It's called the album's called Influenza. I don't know.
Influenza. Is that because it's post-pandemic?
Influenza. So maybe that's your
Tom.
favourite track.
Maybe that one.
Yeah, the title track.
Yeah.
I like it because it's all about how Emma influences people with her music.
That's good. Right. Okay. All right. Moving quickly on.
Yeah.
We've got a final part of the show.
Yeah.
Where we and to be honest, mate, people are fuming that you're taking the TV. Ray, who actually does, he's a member of the club, saying you're barred, lad.
You're
So
barred,
straight away.
I ain't
He's
getting on the wall.
So you might not be getting on the wall. It might be
You're
straight
bad,
away.
lad.
You're barred, lad. But we will. We'll see.
We'll see
We'll
what happens.
see.
Yeah.
The picture on the TV is printed. Its TV is faulty. Craig's saying. Does he know something I don't know? All right, let's have a look. We're all round to John's house then to watch the football if that's what's happening.
Oh, there won't be any football shown on that telly.
No.
Purely Star Trek.
Oh, dear. Oh, hang on a second. It's kicking off. Tal saying he's he's defo barred. John, you could be our
First person
one.
who's barred. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
That wouldn't be the first place I've been barred from.
No.
Once at an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's a true story.
And also, Josh is saying, I reckon Emma should decide what happens with the wall, whether he gets barred or not. Well, we'll see. We'll see what she says. So, if you've not seen this before on Finnegan's, then basically what happens is John's going to tell a story. And if it's a good story, then he's going to
Get him on the wall, lad.
get him on the wall, lad. That's what happens. We take out the pen and his name goes on the wall. But if it's a terrible story, then what happens is
You're bad, lad.
you're barred, lad. And so it's a lot of pressure. And obviously we decide, Klops decides, everyone, people on the wall can write in and let us know. And you at home can let us know. You just write wall or barred.
Yeah.
And so, John, we're going to come over to you now, mate. And all the best. Because
Your start is on a really
That's a lot of
tough
pressure.
note.
I feel like people want to get off. I'll just say this one time I went to a mate's podcast and for a second I thought I'd won a Samsung TV, but then due to peer pressure and the goodness of my heart, I ended up walking away with an album, which I then went on to love. And I thought it was the best music, especially about influenza
people.
that I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And,
It's
and
a
I was
pandemic
I was
album, that.
the
It's a
post-pandemic
pandemic
album.
album.
And I've never been happier with said album.
Yeah, this could. Yeah,
That
good
was
story.
a story.
That's a good story.
Good story.
Yeah. So, what do you think, people?
No, let's hear a proper story.
Oh, okay.
He's got a story.
He has,
People
has he
want
got
to
a
get
story?
off. It's
Go on,
26
no,
minutes
come
past
on.
9.
Love Island. Everyone who's left for Love Island's left.
Go
How
on,
many
they've
people are
gone.
actually watching this now?
Hello.
There's enough.
I've got to drive back to Blackpool.
Three
He
people.
said to me just before it started, he said, "Are you driving home tonight?" I said, "Yeah." And he went, "You can stay over if you like." I said, "I think you're all right."
Go on then. Hit us with your story.
Okay, this is a true story. I went
Oh,
to...
anyone who starts with a story and says this is a true story.
Yeah, Fresh Prince.
Oh, true. True story.
Um,
Go on. I'm for you, John.
it's okay, you're sitting
rooting
back
for
with
you.
your beers with the camera. The camera on me now.
It's
You're
on
sitting
you
there
now.
with your beers, like loving your time. You're in
Cheers.
overtime now, aren't you? What do they give me? Water. It's empty. It's been
That's because
empty
you're
for a
going.
while.
That's because you're going back to
sorted.
Blackpool.
Get that
That's it.
sorted.
Driving home.
Although being
This
a
is a true
busy, you
story.
get let off.
Oh, for goodness sake, let me tell the story.
Okay.
Moving on.
I'll be quiet.
Right.
Go on.
I'll get my own podcast from next week. Emma's going to be on it, performing. So I went to Butlins once for this Christian holiday camp at Butlins called Spring Harvest, and I was told they had a swimming pool, so I was super excited about that because church, most churches just have like a baptistry at the front where we baptise people, which is more like a paddling pool, but this had a water slide, it was brilliant. Nice. So between two of the seminars, I went to the swimming pool and I went down into the changing rooms and I put all my kit in the changing room, put my shorts, my swim trunks on. I was about 26 at the time. And I put my glasses in the locker and I locked the locker and then I turned around and my mates had gone and I realised I couldn't see the exit. But I didn't want to have to go back in the locker and get the glasses because who wants to be going around in a swimming pool with your glasses on? It's just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I sort of feel my way around the changing room, who were misses, until I come to the exit and I see these double doors. So I'm like, right, okay, this must be the way to the pool. So I go through these double doors and then ahead of me is a staircase. Now, being from Blackpool, I'm familiar with this because at the Sandcastle in Blackpool, the changing rooms are downstairs and you go up some stairs into the pool. So I thought, this is familiar territory. I know what I'm doing here. So in my Speedos, if you will, without my glasses, I start groping my way up the stairs. Again, not a euphemism. What I mean is I'm reaching along the handrail. So as I'm going up the stairs, there's another set of double doors, and I thought, this is it, to the pool and away. So I open the doors and I step through confidently with a stride and put my hands on my hips, superhero pose, although I haven't seen my hips since 1998, so really it was hands on my love handles. And I stand there and I suddenly look around and realise that I'm not in the pool, I'm in fact in a fancy restaurant. And I looked around and I kid you not, there was just tables and people sitting wearing nice clothes with tablecloths, eating meals in what was obviously a fancy restaurant that overlooked the pool and some of the other areas of the hotel. And so I stood there for a minute, and when you just can't process something, and I just was working out, and I thought, this can't be the way to the pool, but I've gone up the stairs and I'm in my trunks. I mean,
He's a
I'm
good
2/3
busy,
of the
isn't
way
he?
there.
It can't be the way to the pool. This.
So
No
I thought,
wonder
I'm
they
gonna
took
press
you on.
And I'm looking, and I can sort of see the pool in the distance, but it's all blurry because I'm not wearing my glasses. And then this girl who was very pretty, which makes it worse, turns to me, and everyone in the restaurant, by the way, has gone quiet and stopped eating and is staring at me. There's like a waiter standing right next to me holding a silver tray. And this girl says, "Are you looking for the pool?" Now, in that situation, you either blag it and say, "No, this is how I died. Give me a table for one, please, sir. Bring me the lobster. I need not a bib." Or you just go for it. So I just said, no, to be honest, yeah, I'm looking for the pool. I can see it. And she said, "You can't get to the pool this way unless you're planning on jumping off." So I said, right, okay. And she said, "You have to go back down the stairs and through the changing room." I was like, right, okay, I've been there. And she said, "You'll find it eventually." And I wanted to ask more questions, but if I'm honest, how many more questions can you ask? I've been told where the pool is. I've been told to leave the restaurant, and I was wearing Speedos.
Oh, wow.
So about 20 minutes later, I found my way to the pool with some help from some kind strangers. I never went for a swim for the rest of the conference.
Wow.
And I had a visit from the safeguarding team.
But your trauma is our joy.
Oh,
Yes.
It's just life, mate. It's
You
just
bring
life
joy
for me.
to our hearts.
That was amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Jon has been a fantastic guest. Let us
He
know
is.
what you think, on the wall or barred. And I'm straight away, my hope was saying straight away, get him on the wall, lad. He's been non-stop laughter, and that's from my daughter.
Hope.
Isn't she lovely?
Can I ask, by the way, is one of your children called Eden?
Yes.
And didn't you used to work for a company called Eden?
Well, yeah, a charity called Eden. I did. Yeah.
Aren't we just glad you didn't work for Anusol? That's all I'm going to say. Because my children know we're an anusol.
My daughter is watching this.
Is she the one called Eden?
No.
Hope. Sorry. Anyway, all right. Let us know. On the wall or bar. This has gone very
Someone
strange.
says he can go on the wall as long as he doesn't take the telly.
No, that's just you who's saying
No, that was Ray.
Alan.
That was
just
Ray.
you.
I've seen it before.
Okay, Ray said, on the wall from Mark, on the wall. Cal's not sure. She's saying that was funny, but you are a grass.
That's right, Sal.
And Josh is saying, on the wall, I feel sorry for the people in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's on the wall. On the
I made no joke about spotted dick then. It was in my head. I completely left it. Okay, let's move on. On the wall. It's roasting here. Can I get off? Can I go?
So,
I'm given no drink.
John's going on the wall as long as he promises
To leave the
always
telly.
to leave the telly and to always wear a shirt.
Yeah.
A shirt.
In Finnegan's.
and
He can't
shorts.
come in Speedos.
That's it.
If he comes in Speedos, you're bad, lad.
That's it. All right, I'll say he's going up.
He's
John,
going up. Can he sign it himself?
He can't get
I
round
can't
to
be
it.
bothered. Tom, just
Should
do
we
it for
sign it
me.
after him?
No, wait, I'm signing
you
it.
sign it?
John,
Okay.
what are you... so John will sign it. Is that what you're thinking now? The guest signs it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let him sign it. John's going up on
How
the wall.
magnanimous you are, Tom. Thank you.
I'll let him sign it. I think Alan just doesn't like my handwriting. And also, I don't know
you can
whether...
sign it if you want.
No, I don't want to sign
It's
it.
just
Don't
that
want to sign
everyone's
it.
in your...
That's it. No, I understand.
No,
Everyone's
can
in
you
my
write... Your
left-handed scroll.
handwriting will be nicer than mine.
So
It'll be
are you...
neater.
All right, all right.
But doing block capitals, so it looks like I've done it.
Are you John... Because sometimes you appear as John with Jon or John.
It's J-O-H-N. J-O-H-N all the way.
Right.
Yeah, he's not
Like John the Baptist and John the Evangelist. And
Okay. I'll try and make my
John the window
handwriting
cleaner.
look different for you.
You probably don't know John the window cleaner.
John.
John.
There we go.
I had one request, block capitals. I had one
That's what he
request.
said.
That was the one thing.
One request.
That's what he said.
Sorry.
Anyway, we'll get to that time.
We've gone. We're going long. We've
sorry,
gone long,
people,
but
we're
it's
sorry,
just
but
so
it
good.
is.
It is time for last orders, isn't it?
Let's get off.
It's last orders time.
Speedo John, Joyce. Has
You
said.
know, John, that was my
Speedo
nickname
John.
in Butlins for a while. It was on the banned list.
Although she's not quite got the spelling down there. I don't know how she's... Poor Joyce. Okay, all right, we're going to finish there. So you could help us by sharing this video, following, subscribing on YouTube.
Give Sal a bit of a push to do some more fundraising and running.
That'd be great. John's off already to do his stretching.
gone.
Oh no, he's going for the TV. So we're going to take a little break over the summer. We're going to take a little break, let everyone have their holidays, and then we're going to be back in September. And we're already lining up some fantastic guests, aren't we? We've got some great people coming in, way better than John, like some really top draw guests. No, John's been amazing.
He's been
hasn't he?
good, yeah.
He's been so.
He's a good lad.
He's a very good lad.
He's a very good lad. I like John.
We like him
We
a
did
lot.
train together. We had a ball while we were training. We didn't get into it too much, but we did have a ball.
Yeah. And he's a great minister as well, isn't he?
He is a great minister, although technically not in the end of this month.
Yeah.
But,
So, thank you for joining us at Finnegan's. Enjoy your summer. We'll be back in September, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Take care. All right, bless you. Woo! There we go. I don't even know how to do it on this new one. Where are we going? There. We're done. All right, bye. See you later.